Before, I was fragile as hell. One small thing would tick me off, I'd start crying. But now, I'm fragile like a bomb. I'm coming for you. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's your favorite Bangladeshi artist, Mahua Khan. So excited for you to be here because not only am I using a brand new camera to make the quality like blow your minds, but I'm gonna be talking and painting at the same time. This is my paintbrushes, this is my water mug. Please set up a GoFundMe so I can freaking get a mason jar. Got my pineapple juice, my beautiful 18 by 24 canvas, and I'm so excited. I have not painted physically since my first video and I'm excited to get out there. I had an epiphany in the shower where I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna start painting physically on these big ass canvases and I need to figure out what to paint. So I realized if I paint myself through the stages of my life, it would make it just so much more me. So I took a few selfies, right? Can't even see. Makeup artist. In this video, I'm gonna be talking about my mental health, my growth, my tips to success. And I feel like it's very fitting for me to draw myself with flowers coming out and cracks in my face because that's what I've been going through the past few months. Okay, so like, stop talking for a second because I realize I can't really multitask. First, before I talk about all of my tips to success, I have to talk about my journey to it and how I got over my lack of confidence and all my mental health issues. So if you want to just skip to that, this is the timestamp right here. But I'm telling you right now, you're missing out on some juicy information. I made a post about this on my Instagram talking about my mental health over the past few months, and a lot of people really liked how I opened up about the bad parts and not just the good. So I wanted to kind of open up the whole field to mental health, especially in the South Asian community, because a lot of people don't even regard it. So maybe this will kind of normalize the whole subject. I also do talk about it a lot in my art. I want to also embody my art and follow it through my life. This is also a really shitty paintbrush. Let's start painting. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's no surprise that my mental health has not been the best because I have been talking about it in the past few videos. I had a really successful last few months, the beginning of fall last year. I sold out of a lot of my apparel. My designs were really popular and I was growing really, really fast on social media, where I went from like 300 followers and I went up to almost 10,000 within 5 months. As a person that newly started and getting popular out of nowhere, it really affected me when I started going downhill and I wasn't as popular with my sales anymore, with my art anymore. I feel like I didn't explain this well enough, but basically what I was trying to say was that I was dealing with a lot of self-doubt and imposter syndrome. I felt like I didn't belong or have anyone to look up to. And this makes a lot of sense considering I was just starting my art career. And I also don't want it to seem like my problems are all revolved around social media, because there's so many bigger things than that. But I make it seem like I'm talking to my friends, so that's why I'm talking, so freely. And I also don't want it to give off the vibe that I'm not grateful for everything that I've had. I am very, very grateful for all of the accomplishments, but again, I want to be very, very transparent with you. It wasn't even about me not growing as fast as I was before. It was just me not being acknowledged for all the hard work I was doing, not even just on social media, but in my personal life as well. I was going through a lot of reflective, how this is the year of reflecting, as Miss Kylie Jenner has said.
This year is really about like the year of just realizing stuff. And everyone around me were all just like realizing things.
I kind of had a late in the game. I had a lot of reflection towards the end of quarantine. All the reflection really brought up all the childhood trauma in my head. That part in my life was really hard because I was thinking about my past, I was thinking about my present, and I'm grateful because I had a lot of epiphanies that a lot of people don't even have in their lifetime or much later on. So I'm grateful that I had it at this early age, but also it really affected me. And I also felt like I was in a toxic household and I wasn't getting the acknowledgement that I wanted from my parents, considering how much I was doing. I felt like I wasn't being successful anymore because I wasn't hitting the numbers I was hitting before. And I was also just starting YouTube and I was in grad school and I was doing a lot of things. A lot of things were on my plate. I felt very overwhelmed. I was looking at my journal entries the other day, and my first ever entry that I started in January was feeling overwhelmed and underappreciated. And that made me so sad because I don't know, it's just crazy. Things have changed now. My mindset has changed. Starting YouTube in the beginning of the year, I just felt like no one wanted to hear what I had to say. I wasn't saying anything important. I was really close to not making any more videos, but I also didn't want to quit for the people that were watching. And my boyfriend kept on telling me, keep going, things don't come easy. You have to keep working and you'll get the audience for it. I'm sure a lot of people can relate to the idea of not feeling like you're doing enough for your parents, feeling like you could do more but you're too sad or depressed to get out of bed to even do that. That's literally how I felt. I feel like this painting is gonna really embody me, and it's gonna be a great first painting to my whole self-care journey because the flowers coming out of it represent my name, because my name, Mahua, is a flower name, and it's like so me. I feel like I'm like coming through the cracks and blooming. So some things that I did out of that mindset, and I'm still working on it. First of all, I stopped posting on my Finsta and to my friends or in general to the public. And I'm just very careful with what I post publicly and what I post personally, and having that balance. I'm not saying my friends or my followers are putting nazar on me or evil eye. For example, if you announce that you're coming out with a new project, maybe someone is wishing that you didn't come out with a new project. Or once you post that, you have that obligation and pressure to feel like you actually have to come out with it now that you posted it. So now I'm just like very silent with my moves. I'm sneaky with my moves, and I'll only post it if I'm coming out with it and it's official. Even if I was in a bad mood, I had this really bad habit of complaining over the past few months where I would post on my Finsta, oh my god, I'm so sad, I'm going through this, like blah blah blah. And I just realized the more I complain, the more that bad energy is gonna come to me, and I'm just not gonna appreciate the good things. I was only looking for the bad things in my life. The good things did not even ring a bell in my head because I did not care about them. Only the bad things were making an imprint in my head because I mentally thought that things were not gonna get better, and only the bad things defined who I am. I was looking at my past entry from last week, and I wrote verbatim, word for word, I also feel like now that I'm confident again, that I'll be successful and I'll have a positive outlook on things. I'm getting good energy sent my way. Or maybe I'm just acknowledging the good now more than the bad. Well, I say this because the other day I went on a trip to the city, a little staycation, you know, staycation vibes. And this didn't happen to me, but it happened to my boyfriend, but I was there for there he is! Speak of the devil! Hello, buddy, y'all!
I know you're recording at this one, so I said I love you. I'm in the video. Hello!
He lost his luggage. He had a flight at 6 a.m. He missed it. That could have defined his whole flight. But he missed his flight. He got a better flight. He got a comfort seat. He found his luggage. And that's what we chose to focus on. And on top of that, we had to wait for our hotel room. And it was taking mad long. We thought we were in trouble. Turns out we got one of the best views in the whole hotel of the Empire State Building. I could have fixated on the point of him losing his luggage, us not getting the room that we actually signed up for. But with patience and with me actually thinking about good things only, I had a good outlook to that day. It's really, really easy to just focus on the bad things, and I did that for a really long time. But honestly, I got sick of myself and I got tired of just complaining. And I decided that if I want to have a good life, I have to actually look for the good things. And there's a lot more good than bad usually, so look for it. I am attempting to get the highlights in my face because, you know, I'm an oily gal. I started being confident in my videos and in general, and realizing that people actually do give a shit of what I have to say by faking it till I make it. Honestly, no one's gonna care about what I have to say if I don't even care about what I have to say. So I just put in my head that people are gonna care. I'm gonna put it out regardless. You have to be confident with what you say. And I love my videos. I love the content that I put out because it's things that I actually care about. Literally the only way I did it was because I started realizing that if I'm not gonna do it, someone else is gonna do it. And I'd rather be the first person to do it. The other day, I was having a conversation with some of my friends, and they were talking about how they want to continue or start a small business that they're really passionate about, but they're scared because they're not sure if they're gonna fail, they have other things that they're occupied with that's taking up their lives, and they're not sure if they can find time. And I understood that completely, because I used to be like that with my YouTube, for example. I didn't start it for years until this year. And even my art page, which grew so fast out of nowhere, but I could have grown so much more if I had started when I wanted to. And it's just crazy, because I was telling them how it's okay to be scared. I know a lot of people are scared of starting new ventures, but honestly, in this world, if you're not going to do it, someone else is going to do it. And it's going to be hard to balance out a schedule in the beginning, because you know, you have so many things going on in your personal life, and it's hard to come up with a new venture. But once you have that schedule and you figure it out, you're going to realize just how much happiness is bringing to your life, and you just have to do it. I literally wanted to come out with something for my business, but I ended up not doing it because I kept convincing myself that I didn't have time, and someone else came out with it. And that almost stopped me. I was like, okay, now that they came out with it, they're in the same niche as me, I'm not gonna come out with it. But now in my head, I'm like, I've always wanted to do it, I'm gonna do it better. So now I'm just working extra hard. That should be motivation for you to work even harder, to do whatever it is that you've wanted to do, even if there are other people that are doing it. I know even a lot of people are like, I don't want to do it because there's so many other companies or other people that have been doing it already. But the thing is, they don't have what you have, and you can bring so much more uniqueness to the table. You just have to work hard for it, and you have to get that work ethic up. Come on. I know failure is a really big fear for a lot of people. It is for me as well. But wouldn't you rather do something that you've been wanting to do for such a long time and maybe fail at it? Or would you rather not do that, have that on the back of your head for the rest of your life, and regret all the chances that you could have taken to actually do that? Food for thought. Food for thought. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know in the comments below. What's your dream? What are you trying to pursue? What will you do? That's right, exactly. There's so many videos that I've watched before of like morning routines, productive morning routines of millionaires. A lot of them like wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, do some workout, read, make a smoothie, productiveness in the morning, right? But way before people, like normal people, wake up. I always thought those were so stupid, because I'm like, who the hell is freaking waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning every single day to do these routines that no one gives a shit about? And then I realized that morning routine is honestly where it's at. Before, I used to wake up for class. The minute before class, I would wake up in bed, just open up my laptop, maybe turn on my LED light. And that was such a bad way to live, because not only was my back killing me every single day from being in bed all day, but also I had no time for myself before class, before work or anything, and I would just kind of run into class, and that was just really bad. I started realizing that if I wake up a little bit earlier than when my class starts, make some coffee for myself, answer some emails, do some things for myself, journaling, that just gives me so much more peace for myself, and it just gives me time for myself in the morning. It gives me a head start to the day. I'm literally not telling you to wake up at 5. I feel like that's bogus, but I think if you wake up just a little bit earlier than when you're supposed to, that just helps so much, and it just gives you so much more peace of mind. You don't feel like you're running into class or running into whatever you have to do. Also, a lot of you guys are sleeping on reading, because reading has helped me so much. I didn't read as much before just because I have an English degree, so I had to read a lot of books in college, and I really didn't have the time to. But now, well, that's actually an excuse. I did have the time to. Everyone has the time to do anything, you know, that's just an excuse that they make in their head. You have the time to read, you have the time to do self-care. I started reading 30 minutes a day. Currently, I'm reading a book called On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and it's a good book so far. It's kind of different. It's about an immigrant family, Vietnamese, and it talks about the son's experience with the immigrant mother and helping her navigate and American cultures and everything. It's so good. Make time for yourself. I did not. I mentioned this in a previous video, but I was in this mode where I would just keep going, and I would not stop to take a break. And I would say to myself, okay, once I get through this week, it's a difficult week, I can relax the next few days. But then I would never end up relaxing, because more things would pile up every single day, and I just felt like I couldn't give myself a break, and it was like a luxury that I had to earn. So I realized that I can't do that, because that just takes such a big toll on my mental health. I was very burnt out from creating art every single week. Burnt out plus feeling unmotivated plus feeling all of the work that you are putting into it does not count for anything, because you're not getting any of the benefits. So that's literally what I was feeling. But I realized I have to do things for myself. I started journaling, I started walking with my parents. I also turned on a time limit on my phone. My freaking like, don't even tell anyone, but my phone usage time was so freaking high. I felt literally embarrassed for myself. I'm like, what the hell am I doing with my life? But in that dark point in my life, I was literally in bed all day just watching TikToks and, you know, going about my life like that. And I had this epiphany where I'm like, I literally spend like what, 6 to 7 hours a day sleeping, and then I spend 6 hours, 7 hours on my phone, which leaves like what, an hour to myself to enjoy the day. So I turned on 1 hour for TikTok a day and 1 hour for Instagram a day, which has helped a lot. I'm trying my best to not just reach for my phone when I'm bored, and I'm also trying to not use my phone too much in the morning when I wake up, because I'm trying to be like one of those oldies where I just wake up, get up, drink some coffee, read the morning newspaper. Seriously, you're wasting away your 20s, your 30s, your teens away on your phone, and that's not good for you. That's the tea. That's the tea. Now I'm gonna add a little time lapse of me painting, just because I feel like I got jack shit done. So it turns out my turns out my camera died, so I could not record the time lapse, could not wait for you, so I continued painting, and I'm almost done, but I wanted to keep the flowers for this part so you can see it. So far it looks very cartoony, which was the vibe I was kind of going for. I did have some hiccups along the way. I could not get the skin tone to match exactly to mine. Another rule to cleansing your mental health and not making yourself feel bad is to not compare yourself to people. I saw this tweet that said, some of you don't clap for others and that's why it'll never be your turn. When I was, you know, festering away in bed over the last few months, feeling bad about myself, not feeling confident, I had this habit of comparing myself to others, feeling bitter when people would succeed, and I wanted to be like that. And I realized I have to start feeling good for other people, which I was doing before, you know, my depression struck me. I honestly was not giving good vibes to other people. And if you're not genuine about your thoughts to other people, there is no friggin' way that you're gonna get that same thing back, because that energy that you're putting out is also gonna come to you. If you're a genuine person that wishes well on other people, that same genuineness is gonna come back to you and you're gonna get that same reward. Don't even think about comparing yourself to other people, and if you do, use that as motivation to get better. Also, I just want to emphasize that social media is fake. Everything you see on social media is overly perfect for a reason. It's because people want you to see a perfect version of themselves and they edit it and only put the good parts out. That is why when I don't really like social media as much anymore, just because there's just like no genuineness and no normalcy to it. That's why I would recommend taking your breaks and putting limits on social media and not comparing yourself and feeling bad about yourself if you're not looking a certain way or achieving a certain thing, because people don't really put the blood, sweat, and tears that it takes to get to that level that they put out on social media, or they don't put their sadness and depression and whatever on social media because it doesn't get enough likes. But what I'm saying is that don't believe everything you see on social media. Post things that you're actually genuine about. Turn off your likes if that's something that's defining you. That's something that I did recently too for my art page. I turned off my likes because that just brought me a lot of stress, because I felt like I had to outdo myself every single art post, and I'm not built for that as of currently. Before, I was fragile as hell. One small thing would tick me off, I'd start crying. But now, I'm fragile like a bomb. I'm coming for you. Another thing branched off of the comparing thing. Don't believe that everyone got successful from one video, one post. Success does not come easy. I've said this so many times. So these people that are trying to feed you the narrative that they blew up from one video, which is very lucky, it happens to some people, but it does not happen to most people. A lot of people actually have to build their platform. They have to work for their success, which may take months, years, and I have to convince myself of this almost every single day, that it does not come easy, and you will see payoff once you actually put in the work. If these videos that are giving off these false narratives are bothering you, then don't freaking watch them. If you watch them, use it as motivation. But a lot of the time people get lucky and they're not putting in the work. Let me tell you about this piece. Literally, I called my boyfriend to see if it looks like me, and he said, it doesn't look extremely like you. So I had a lot of altering to do with this piece. You guys did not see behind the scenes. Oh shit. Ah, I forgot that I have to let paint dry before painting on top of it. That's my fault. Are you guys ready for the final look? I feel like you're not ready. I wasn't ready myself, but get yourself ready. Bring out your popcorn because it's gonna be a montage. Look at her. Who's prettier? Siblings or dating? I love it. She's so cute. Can't wait to put her in my room. I hope you guys liked my video and you take some of my mental health and success tips to heart and you implement it in your life in some way. I know I'm still a work in progress, but I hope it still helps you. Please like and subscribe. I currently have 2 videos a week coming out, and also apparently the like boosts the video in the algorithm somehow. I don't know how. Also follow my art page. I have new art every single week. Buy my merch from my website, labyrinthav.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.